Hello folks, and welcome back to Let's Play Breath of Fire 3. I'm your host, Darius. This is going to be more or less a quick expose of the different dragon forms that are available to the characters at this point in the game, once you have every single one. Now, I didn't want to, just bog down every single video with, oh hey, here's a dragon form, here's another dragon form, here's another dragon form. So, I'm going to go over these guys, over the special dragons with different properties and whatnot. So here we go. First up on the list, something that I know that people have seen before, but, gotta add it to the list anyways. The Myrmidon dragon form is physically the strongest. It is even stronger than... in theory, it's even stronger than the most powerful supposed dragon form that will be the very final dragon on this list. He has your natural gambit ability, all the holy strike and the fire strikes, aura breath, which is holy damage based on his HP, which relatively is smaller than a whole lot of the other dragon forms. Now, his biggest thing is that he has Aura, which does one super powerful strike that is holy damage on one target for 20 AP. That's a lot, but during boss fights, that thing is quintessential. Now, what I'm also going to be doing here is just showing off the breath attacks, because they are quite impressive. The second dragon form that I'm going to be showing off is one of the cutest ones, if only because it's adorable. What would usually come off from a completely random transformation turns into the pygmy form. I'm fairly certain that the pygmy form is also a callback to one of the older dragon forms that Ryu had in Breath of Fire 1 or 2, but can't really say I know that right at the moment. But his special is that he's got a magma breath. Using both the Trance and Shadow genes actually results in one of the aesthetically really awesome looking dragons. And he also takes up the entire team, the Tiamat. Named after the ever popular 5-headed dragon god in most D&D games, and one of the more evil creatures to come into being. He has 3 special abilities, which I shall show off. Venom Breath, which is, usual poison breath attack. Shadow Breath, which is an instant death effect on all targets. And lastly, a Doom Breath that does physical damage, altered by HP. Using the Miracle Form and Reverse genes will be the Wildfire, which is a special form of the Whelp Dragon that you would start as at the very beginning of the game. Little Whelp Dragon doesn't have much, but he is little Wildfire doesn't have much in the way of attacks, but he shouldn't be underestimated as he can be rather powerful of a dragon form. Can be. I'm not saying that he is. In fact, its real calling is not its special abilities, because it has a stupid low amount of HP, but instead what it has is a monstrously high attack power. Monstrously high. In fact, I would definitely say that if you want to end a fight really quickly, you might want to use the wildfire, if you don't mind having to restore him to health. Now, some of the rest of the forms are more irritating to get into, because what it is the fusion forms, which is based on who is in your party at what time. When you have both Ray and Momo in your party, you will turn into the dragon based around Ray's hybrid form, which is a winged demonic looking tiger. And again, his special abilities are Shadow Walk, the automatic critical blow, regular old dragon breath, and Tempest, which is a wind based attack that is solely based on how much HP you have. Mind you, some enemies are immune to some elements. Now, if that didn't curb your enthusiasm for the idea of the fusion forms, each of the separate fusion forms also have a different upgradable path to take. For example, Ray's, when you go to take Ray's form, if you use the Force gene alongside the fusion gene, you will get a super hybrid form that is far more powerful, and even has a different color scheme altogether. Still has the same abilities, but again, it is far, far stronger than the previous form. That and it just looks cooler. I mean, come on, look at that red color scheme. And of course, keeping to the theme of annoying party combinations, you also have the different fusion forms. In this case, when you have Nina and Pekka on your team, you turn into a hybrid form with Nina, which is this swan-looking beastie that I've honestly seldom used. Most because I seldom had Nina on the team, so that makes sense. I believe that both Nina and Momo's forms all have a really high magic, and they get the more powerful forms of the spells. Plus a special breath attack that causes confusion in the enemy ranks, assuming it hits. But again, it is not without its own power in just the spell casting. So in Nina's case, you will want to combine the Eldritch with the fusion gene in order to gain her super powered up fusion form. Which has a slight tinge of purple or green. Yeah, that's more of a green color. Once again, it gets more magic, but it also gets the upgraded magic attacks of Soroko and Mjolnir, while still retaining the same temptation ability that it gains before. Honestly, I tend to avoid using Nina's hybrid form, as already if I'm casting magic, it's going to be used with Nina's. On top of that, it is more AP use on his dragon forms, with the additional AP that is drained from him every round. So in order to transform into Momo's fusion form, you require to have Momo in the party, naturally. And either Nina and I believe Pekka. This is a very steampunky looking dragon, which has lower HP than some of the other ones. And of course he has been blinded. But he also gets more buffing spells, speed, protect, might, etc. as well as combustion. Which is kind of hilarious to watch. Finally, and most perplexingly, her power-up form of the hybrid fusion requires the mystery gene. This will turn his hybrid form into a more golden-colored one, which actually looks pretty nice and more of a royal-based dragon look. Now, in this case, it adds 2 spells to his repertoire, Vitalize and Ragnarok. Honestly, I still would just prefer to go with Combustion because it looks hilarious. By the look of it, it seems that Combustion actually does the max damage that the hybrid form has. Not how much that it currently has, but its max HP. Finally, when it comes to the fusion forms, there is also Pekka, which transitions into this high attack, defense, and HP dragon that is plant-based. It is also noted that he is the slowest of the dragon forms. Now, in this form, he has the stat-inflicting Dream and Venom Breaths, the HP-altered Dragon Breath, and Geo Breath, which, according to the Wikia, does 3/8 of the main protagonist's HP in damage. Now, the final one that does not quite make sense to me when it comes to Pekka is that when you attach him with the fusion and shadow genes, he will transform into the Super Pekka hybrid form. Don't know why Shadow inflicts this, but it gains a far more golden color, and his main attack, Geo Breath, takes on a different appearance altogether, and he still gets the Dream and Venom Breath and Dragon Breath, but now his damage that he gets from Gaia's Breath is half his HP as opposed to 3/8. The final 3 forms are based entirely around the final gene that you can pick up in the game, the Infinity gene. Now this is the gene, the one that you've been wanting all game, and it's 40 AP just to use the one piece of it. However, if you use just the singular piece, you have yourself a super powerful dragon form that, yes, does look like just a Super Saiyan form of the main protagonist, but he is also Berserk when he... okay. As I was saying, Berserk Kaiser form is extremely strong with 300% of his normal HP, 250 of attack and defense, strength and magic 150%, but he's Berserk. You will attack anything at random. And it's not progressive like the Were Tiger form is. No, it's just straight up, I will slash at anything and everything that I see. Now, what you can also do to alleviate the fact that you can't control this Kaiser form is by giving him the Failure gene. This will increase the AP cost by 1 point, and it will produce a slightly weaker Kaiser form, but it will also be controllable. Now, in this form, you will receive Howling, which induces confusion in all your enemies, Bone Break, which is a special ability that you gain through leveling up with your main protagonist that you can only use every 2 hours, but it is a stupid powerful attack. Not even kidding, it's like take down an enemy in 1 strike powerful. And then there's the Kaiser Breath, which is once again neutral damage and based entirely upon the HP of Darius. Like I said, It is still a powerful, stupid powerful form, but it's not his most powerful. Now, what is considered the true Kaiser form is when you use Infinity, Radiance, and the Trance genes all at once. It takes a heaping chunk of AP, and that is why near end game you want to try to keep your main protagonist with as much AP as possible, especially during the last areas where there's just a plethora of bosses that are coming through to you. Now, he appears exactly as the previous two Kaiser dragon forms, but I assure you he is far, far more powerful than before. Once again, he still only gets Kaiser Breath, Bone Break, and Howling, and with all dragon forms you can still use your skills and whatnot that you've received before. But the Kaiser dragon that appears with his Dragon Breath appears differently. And I assure you, in pretty much every boss fight that's going to start coming up from now on, is going to be using the true Kaiser form in order to take them out as fast as possible and as ruthlessly as possible as well. Anyways, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I meant to do a video just showing off the fusion forms, but I feel like that would have just been, lost in all the other videos and whatnot. So I decided hold it off until I have all the dragon genes, and then I can show them off all at once. So thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all are all enjoying this game as much as I am, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Take care. Cheers.